How does Dan help to build safe diving communities? Well, as a leader in dive safety education and various other aspects related to that mission, Dan not only responds to injuries, but works closely with dive business owners, operators, and professionals to minimize or prevent injuries before they even occur. And to further and improve diving safety, we've developed a multi-faceted approach that creates a culture of safety and is known as Hazard Identification and Risk Assessment Program. So let's find out together what this is all about. Welcome to another Get to Know Dan video series episode. My name is Dr. Frans Cronje and I am the founder of Dan Southern Africa. If you want to learn more about Divers Alert Network and everything we're involved with, go to the Dan Southern Africa YouTube channel and subscribe, or visit the Dan blog so you don't miss anything. So let's talk about this Dan Hazard Identification and Risk Assessment Program, or HIRA for short. The program's primary intention is what we call risk mitigation. Now, I want to differentiate between a hazard and a risk. A hazard is something that has the potential to cause harm. And there are many things like snakes and compressed cylinders, etc., that are hazards. But they only become a risk if you are potentially exposed to them. So therefore, the two tiers are essential. There must be a hazard identification aspect to recognize potential for injury, and then risk assessment to determine how likely the exposure will result in an injury, and if so, how severe that would be. So, if a diving business is well prepared and equipped, it can reduce the frequency and occurrence of diving emergencies. And that goes a long way to reassure staff members and customers and mitigate potential outcomes for the better. This HIRA program was created for diving operators and professionals, and it goes a long way to foster a culture of diving safety, backed by the strength of Dan resources worldwide. Many industries in the world use this HIRA approach. The Occupational Health and Safety Act and other similar organizations or acts or regulations in different countries all aim for the same goal: to identify hazards and mitigate risks. And this is what we want to offer our members, and invite member organizations as well as various operators and resorts to join in. Now, what are the areas of focus? Firstly, we are very interested in staff health and safety, as well as customer health and safety, staff training and certification, focusing on the training pool area, training room, retail shop, dive and boat operation, compressor and cylinder operations, rental equipment and storage, repair of equipment, vehicle safety, and travel advice. The participants in this program may include businesses, operators, and diving instructors. And they join at what we call levels 1 and 2. So how do we go about preventing risks or hazards from becoming risks for businesses and facilities? Well, it does so by focusing on realistic and practical ways of reducing or avoiding customers being subjected to hazards. To give you a simple example, simply by putting the air bank or compressor behind a soundproof wall, or to lock the door to bar access to this area, a hazard is now less of a risk because there is less chance that someone will be in contact or come in contact with either the noise or the compressed pressure vessels that are contained in that area. So that is what HIRA is all about. In level 1, the operator really focuses on just the essential assessment aspects, how they can minimize the severity or the potential for injuries of their customers, and to inspire confidence in their staff and divers, to remain in compliance with local and national laws, and to keep their customers and employees safe. Then there is the reduction of injuries of customers and employees to go for. This improvement makes an enormous difference to the reputation of the organization, in addition to just being the right thing to do. So engage with Dan and have a direct line of access to our data, tools, and service offerings, because in the long term, it will reduce liability and loss of reputation. So we actively encourage operations, instructors, resorts, and dive shops to participate in this program. It involves a variety of elements. Please click the link below to see the expansive aspects or the wide ramifications of this program, including emergency action plans. HIRA Level 2 takes it to a next step, and this involves online completion of certain characteristics and equipment that a dive resort actually has. So the first is essentially a self-reported way of engaging. The second is more interactive and ultimately not only involves the customers but also sustainability of the environment as well as the business. It includes things such as the availability of oxygen kits and automated external defibrillators, etc. For Level 3, we envisage on-site collaboration and interaction with the owners or staff and managers to really look at their distinct operation and point out things that they may have missed, in addition to the obvious aspects that we already mentioned. Our pledge to you, though, is that Dan is committed to advancing this culture of safety and engaging all the stakeholders in the various areas of free diving, sport, technical, professional diving, worldwide, in all diving practices. And we pledge to work with community leaders, medical service providers, chamber technicians, business owners, operators, dive professionals and divers to provide the resources to build this culture. Okay, so for listening to this, please download the Dan HIRA Guide. It's available to you right now. Just follow the link. And lastly, if you don't have the Dan mobile app yet, which is a regular app available for iPhone or Android in the regular places, go to the link below and download it to your phone. Most dive resorts have access to Wi-Fi nowadays, and it allows a written exchanges, real-time chat with Dan. So it's like having Dan at your fingertips. And the benefit being that communication is clearer, less ambiguous, and in some cases we are even able to provide a certain form of telemedicine and give real-time advice. If you want to know more about Dan, you know where to go, the Dan Southern Africa YouTube channel. So subscribe and visit the Dan blog for the latest news so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for your time. In the next video, we'll be talking about why it's important to enroll entry-level students into the Dan program. Thanks for watching.